got these from Camper World. We run the whole thing with this game controller.
Come on! It seems like this submersible has some elements of MacGyver-y jerry-riggedness. I mean, you're putting construction pipes as ballast.
For the past few days, I think a lot of us have heard what has happened near the wreck of the Titanic. A submersible vessel called Titan has gone missing during a dive due to the Titanic with 5 souls on board. OceanGate, which is the owner of Titan, is a company that takes tourists on an expedition of a lifetime to see the wreck of the Titanic with their own eyes, which lies about 12,500 feet or near 4 kilometers below the frigid waters of the Atlantic Ocean. On Sunday, 1 p.m, Titan began its descent to the wreck of the Titanic, which typically should take just about 2.5 hours to get to the bottom. At 2:45 p.m, around an hour and 45 minutes into the dive, the surface vessel named Polar Prince, which was accompanying the dive, loses all contact with Titan. By that time, Titan would have been almost on top of the Titanic's wreck. Now, as shocking as this sounds, losing all contact with the surface vessel is actually nothing out of the ordinary. It does happen from time to time, even losing contact for a couple of hours. And the Titan communicates with the surface vessel through a couple of touchscreen tablets. Now 15 minutes later, at around 3 p.m, Titan sends what seems to be a distress signal. I can't confirm this other than I literally read this from a trusted news source. So whatever happened, it does seem that a distress signal was indeed raised. Now comes the strange part. The US Coast Guard was not notified up until 10:40 p.m. That's almost 8 vital hours after receiving the distress signal from Titan. What happened in those missing 8 hours? Why was nobody else contacted immediately? I could understand this decision if they would have a backup rescue ROV at hand, but OceanGate had nothing. This is what actually shocks me. There are no backup ROVs on board for a dive this dangerous. These billionaires who are looking for an adventure of a lifetime literally have to sign a piece of paper that states OceanGate is not responsible if death may occur in any way possible. I mean, I understand that expeditions like this are extremely risky, but if you ask $250,000 per ticket, you should at least invest into having backups for backups. Like backup ROVs with claws that can grab onto a distressed submersible and bring it to the top, or at least have a hook already on the Titan itself, so if something does happen you can easily, kinda easily attach a cable from the surface ship to the vessel via the ROV and drag it to the top. The second thing that shocked me quite a bit is they have literally no idea where Titan is. How is it even possible in 2023? I get it, it's a bit hard to find a plane like MH370 whose responders were turned off and was flown to who knows where in the middle of the Indian Ocean. But here we are talking about a small submersible that is always accompanied by a surface vessel that always has eyes on you. How is it possible to not have multiple transponders on a vessel like this? If one fails, there should always be a backup for that, just because how important it is to know your exact location so deep beneath the ocean. And also, how expensive is a transponder really? Submersibles like this should always have some sort of an outside the vehicle transponder that activates if certain amount of hours have passed. The third shocker here is you cannot escape the Titan even if you surface over the ocean. If Titan is floating miles off the surface vessel, maybe a few meters even below the surface, nobody can do anything but wait until found. Even if they are on the surface itself, Titan's doors stay shut. They cannot be opened in any way from the inside, meaning if Titan is not found within this 96-hour window, the occupants will suffocate to death. The situation right now is dire, and there are just a handful of hours left to find the vessel and save the people inside. If Titan is indeed just having a blackout, no electricity, it might have indeed fell into the wreck of the Titanic. Or what I think is more likely is that the currents down at 12,500 feet or near 4 kilometers are very strong and could have just sent the Titan far away from the wreck. And coming back to the responders, right, I can't believe that they didn't have any responders, right? It's such a vital thing to have, especially for missions like this, right? I'd have even multiple responders, right? Responders that would, work totally separately from the craft. If something happens, if the craft even implodes, the responder still goes off after like some certain amount of time has passed, which is, usually not the diving operations time, right? So maybe like 24 hours after, if nothing, if the vessel hasn't surfaced, the responder would go off 100%, like there's no stopping it. So the fact that we don't have a responder, nobody knows where the vessel is, where Titan is. So finding it, if it's really down below, like 12,500 feet down below, it is so hard to find that thing. And hopefully somebody is just, banging on the walls, making some noise so sonar or something can pick it up. People could actually then know where to look and could maybe pinpoint it like that. The other thing is to get down to the vessel and bring it up. How come does Titan not have some sort of a hook already made for rescue efforts, right? If something happens, you would always have a hook somewhere. Like, did it really have to be this slick cylinder styled shape, right? It definitely should have had hooks all around the vessel, so whatever, weird way it would fall to the bottom of the sea, you could easily then hook a cable to it and pull it up to the surface. So if you finally manage to find it, right now I don't really see any real way to hook a winch to it that could be easily done so deep. So that's really concerning. The very last thing that could have maybe happened is an implosion, which is hard to believe, just because there hasn't really been implosions like this in the past. At least I haven't heard of anything like that. And even if an implosion does occur, it is instant. But maybe the crew suddenly saw a crack on the window, something like that. And the last thing they managed to do was send out that last distress message before an implosion happened. But the more time that passes, more evidence and information comes out. And right now, when I'm concluding this video here, there has been a new update to this rescue mission, and likely signs of life have been detected. So whether they are down below 12,500 feet or near the surface, I'm starting to begin to think that they might be floating near the surface somewhere, because a rescue plane that was hunting the missing Titanic submarine has heard banging every 30 minutes or so. And the question is, can a plane actually pick up through sonar so deep into the ocean, right? So is the vessel, is Titan like actually at the bottom of the sea, or is it floating near the surface? Because if this is true, because this is information according to internal emails sent to DHS leadership obtained by Rolling Stone magazine here that I'm reading. This is just live updates for myself here when editing the video. And yeah, if this is true, yeah, whew, if they are alive, it's gonna be a miracle getting them out, because we still, like, nobody still knows their exact position, but the sonar did, you know, mention that it is near the wreck site. So if it's floating near the surface, should be pretty quick to, you know, look around the surface area. But I'm starting to believe that it is like at the bottom of the sea, and getting that saw back to the surface, yeah, well, basically, in my opinion, you need to hook a winch to it with a big long cable and just pull it out. But if it's 12,500 feet down below, you still need to locate it, then attach the cable, right, and pull it out, and hopefully it's not stuck anywhere in the wreck. And yeah, there's like 40 hours of air or oxygen left, right? Maybe that can be a little bit extended if you know, are calm and don't heavily breathe. So this is really, it's sad to hear, because I just don't see any real feasible way of getting them back out before the oxygen ends. So yeah, this is my video here. Hopefully this was helpful and interesting and informational. And yeah, leave a comment down below and give me your feedback. What do you think actually happened there? So if they still are alive there, right, then what went wrong? You know, did they just lose all electricity? Why? And such, and why haven't any of the backup systems went live? I think they might be, you know, somehow locked in the Titanic wreck itself, somehow stuck there, so they can't really get out. It's really hard news to swallow here, and yeah, that's going to be it for my video. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and yeah, thank you for watching.